Welcome everyone. Today we are going to look at binomial nomenclature. Okay, this is the second lesson in the topic classification. In that, the first topic, we saw that classification is very important. We put organisms into different groups, and we noted that we need to name them correctly. Okay, such that what is an elephant in one place, it does not become a cow in another place. Okay, so we need to name them properly to create order, and especially in the scientific world, when we talk about Homo sapien, then everyone knows what we are talking about. So that's why it is very vital that we understand the binomial nomenclature. Nomenclature is about naming organisms. Okay, so when we talk about binomial nomenclature, we're talking about a system of naming organisms. We scientifically using two names. One of the name is for the genus, what we call the generic name, and the other name is for the species. So one name is for the genus, and then the other name is for the species. If you remember the levels of classification that we talked about, moving from kingdom of the species. So the last two levels are the ones that are very important in binomial nomenclature. Okay, and if you look at the word binomial, it originates from the word from two Greek words. Bi obviously means two. Binomial means two, and then nomio means nomio here, name means name. Okay, so the word binomial basically means two names. Okay, and comes from two Greek words, bi and nomio. Okay, so this is the system that we currently use in naming organisms, and the person who introduced this is Carl Linnaeus. Okay, Carl Linnaeus is the person who introduced this system of classification. Okay, so that is very important to note. And then this classification basically follows the hierarchical system that we already looked at, basically based on what we see. Okay, physical characteristics. This is what it means, what we see based on the makeup of the organism. Okay, so the more you move from the higher ranks downwards, the more the organism look similar. The more similarities you have, okay, and the less differences you have. We noted that when we are using the binomial system of nomenclature, we have to follow certain rules. And the first rule is that each organism should be having two names. The first name is the genus name. You can call it the generic name. And then the second name is what we term as the species name. Basically, we can also term it as a specific name. That's the first rule. The second rule is that we should always start the first name with a capital letter. Okay, and then the second name should have all letters small. So that therefore basically emphasizes that the first letter of the second name also has to be a small letter. Okay, and then rule number 3 is that if you are going to write the scientific name of an organism using your hand, that is handwritten scientific name, make sure that you underline the two names. However, that underlining should be separate for each name. That means that it should not be a continuous line. You underline one name and then you also underline the second name separately. That's very important. However, if you are writing that name, the scientific name, on a computer, maybe on a Word document, you're writing this on, maybe it is an email, whatever it is, we can term that as print text. Therefore, for it, you only have to write that scientific name in italics. What is the meaning of the word italics? You see, on your screen, we have the word Homo sapiens. Humans are called Homo sapiens. That is the scientific name for humans. Now, you can say that there are two names, and you can say that for the first letter is capital, and then for the second name, all letters are small. All right? You have noted that, right? So, do you notice that the letters are leaning forward? So that leaning forward is what we term as italics. So if you're writing that name on a paper that you're going to print out and not handwritten, that's what you call print, you should make sure that those words are in italics. Okay, so